Well, President Obama spending July 4th focused on immigration, presiding over a citizenship ceremony for undocumented service members coming up in about an hour from now. Meanwhile, critics are blasting the administration's hands-off approach to the flood of children that are pouring across the southern border. Chief White House correspondent Ed Henry is live on the North Lawn. So, Ed, how's the White House pushing back against the criticism?
Well, Cheryl, it's really sort of a tale of two symbols. The White House, the president, next hour trying to sort of showcase the beauty of this naturalization ceremony for American service personnel who are not yet citizens, and try to push back by saying, look, we're a nation of immigrants, while Republicans are saying there's another symbol down on the southern border, the ugliness of this humanitarian crisis that's playing out, and they're saying we're also a nation of laws, and they need to be enforced. And in fact, the president will be down in Texas the middle of next week. Republicans have been pushing for him to go to the border. So far, the White House has refused. I pressed Josh Earnest, the White House spokesman, yesterday on why he's not going. Listen.
There are a whole range of senior officials in this administration over the course of the last 3 or 4 weeks who have spent a lot of time in the southwest border.
And you'll send the FEMA director, all these people, but then the president himself goes there and he meets with the families, he holds their hands, he talks to them, he tries to get a sense. Why can't he do that this time?
The president has a very good sense of what's happening on the border. He's getting regular updates from his officials who have traveled to that region.
Now, Josh Earnest also went on to say that Republicans like Governor Rick Perry of Texas, who've been demanding that the president go and visit the border, are just playing politics, Cheryl.
Well, Ed, but Republicans are suggesting that actions the president has already taken are responsible for the border crisis.
That's right. You've got Republican Mike McCall, who chaired a House hearing yesterday down in Texas, says it's the president's executive actions that have invited this kind of a crisis, and he said it's time for the president to get serious about fixing it. Listen.
What is new is a series of executive actions by the administration to grant immigration benefits to children outside the purview of the law. Such unilateral actions and failed policies, in my judgment, are what caused this dire situation here in Texas in the first place.
What I suspect we'll hear from the president next hour is something we've heard from him many times before, that if Republicans have complaints like that, they should work with him on comprehensive immigration reform, though I can tell you that is dead right now on Capitol Hill, Cheryl.
Ed, before I let you go, I got to ask, you got a lot of patriotic, you got the necktie going, you got the flag. What else is happening?
Well, pocket square. Yeah, well, pocket square. I like to wear that, but this is important. It's not just the American flag, of course, but right in the middle, you might not be able to see it, but there's the symbol of the U.S. Secret Service, and I was actually given that pin, and that's where I wear it on my lapel, from one of the snipers that protects the White House. He sits up on the roof with one of those big weapons, and he came down and said he's a Fox fan, and he gave it to me, so that's why I wear it. A
little birdie told me you got cufflinks going on, too. You want to show us really quick?
Oh, all right. Yeah, I do have cufflinks. Yeah, these are American flag right here. How about that? I don't know if you... Yeah. I'll try to turn it there. So, yeah, I tried to wear it all today.
People have noticed, and we love it. Ed Henry at the White House. Ed, thank you.
The spoils of being a White House correspondent.
I know, poor Ed.
He looks great.
Doesn't know how to dress.
The White House taking on Texas Governor Rick Perry after Governor Perry blasted President Obama for scheduling a visit to Texas next week to attend a Democratic fundraiser without making a stop at the border. We just heard from Ed Henry about this. Meantime, though, White House Press Secretary Josh Earnest is pushing back, accusing Perry, the Texas governor, of playing politics.
The reason that some people are suggesting the president should go to the border when he's in Texas is because they'd rather play politics than actually try to address some of these challenges.
Jonah Goldberg, editor-at-large of National Review Online. Real simply, why do you think the president isn't going to the border? It seems like it's something that he could definitely go down and have a photo op, those kinds of things. Why is this administration keeping him away?
Well, first of all, happy 4th of July, happy Independence Day. I'm sorry I don't have as much flair as Ed Henry, but I'll do my best. I think one of the main reasons that he doesn't want to go give a photo op about this is he doesn't want to make this a bigger story. The rush of refugees, these kids at the border, is absolutely deadly to the political narrative that President Obama wants to build and has been trying to build about immigration reform, in part because the reason those kids are there is that they've gotten this message that President Obama will willy-nilly give these kids citizenship if they can make it across the border. This, the crisis at the border is proof of the complaints about amnesty. These kids or their families think they'll get amnesty if they make it here, and the president visiting there makes it a story that even the mainstream media has to then cover more, and they don't want that to happen.
Speaking of this story, does the White House, from your sense and your reporting there, have a comprehensive policy, or are they just kind of winging it by the seat of their pants, and as this immigration issue, especially the crisis on the border, has gotten more out of control?
Well, look, I mean, this White House always tries to, I mean, it takes some real chutzpah on Josh Earnest's part to talk about how Rick Perry is playing politics. And Rick Perry is playing politics to a certain extent. Politicians play politics. But this White House has tried to use any event possible, to exploit any event possible to move its political agenda across. After they killed Osama bin Laden, Jay Carney came out and said, this is proof why President Obama needs to pass immigration reform, as if that wasn't a non sequitur. And so the push for comprehensive immigration reform, I'm sure they want to fix problems, and there are problems that need to be fixed. But a huge part of it is driven by election year politics. They want to secure the Hispanic vote, the minority vote. And the idea that somehow President Obama is just above the fray, who only wants to deal with serious public policy issues while everyone else who disagrees with them are just playing politics is ridiculous.
We'll see how the narrative continues going on. Jonah Goldberg, editor-at-large of the National Review Online, out for July 4th, and we'll forgive no pocket squares. Next year, though, we expect them.
I promise.
It's got the red and the blue.
Look for me on Arbor Day.
Yeah, right over there. It's got the red and the blue.